15 minutes.
Mesdames et Messieurs le Président, Mesdames et Messieurs les membres du Parlement européen, je suis heureux d'être ici aujourd'hui à Strasbourg pour cette audition. Au fil des années, j'ai travaillé en étroite collaboration avec nombre d'entre vous ici au Parlement européen dans le cadre de mes différentes fonctions au sein de la Commission. J'espère avoir l'occasion de poursuivre cette coopération pour ce qui concerne le pacte vert européen, responsabilité que la présidente de la Commission m'a demandé de prendre en charge. En tant que vice-président responsable de l'Union de l'énergie, je travaille sur les efforts de la Commission européenne pour élaborer une réponse au changement climatique pendant le mandat précédent, quand, pour la première fois, nous avons parlé d'atteindre la neutralité climatique d'ici à 2050. Grâce au pacte vert et au soutien de ce Parlement, cet objectif est désormais inscrit dans le droit européen. Les 4 dernières années, comme vous savez très bien, ont été très difficiles. C'est à quoi nous avons dû faire face a été très différent de ce que nous avions connu auparavant. De la pandémie de Covid-19 à l'agression de la Russie contre l'Ukraine, notre Europe a dû réagir, s'adapter et démontrer qu'elle restait unie. En plus de cela, nous sommes confrontés à une crise du climat et de la biodiversité qui représente l'une des plus grandes menaces pour notre économie, notre société et notre modèle social unique. Dans toute l'Europe, nous en ressentons les effets très concrets. L'inondation dévastatrice, l'incendie catastrophique, grave vague de chaleur. Des gens perdent leur vie, leur maison, leurs moyens de subsistance. Des vastes étendues de terres cultivables et des forêts sont dévastées. Et ce sont les personnes les plus vulnérables qui sont les plus touchées. So, honorable members of the European Parliament, what kind of planet do we want to live in today, and what kind of planet do we want to leave for our children? If we are serious about keeping global warming to 1.5 degrees, we must continue to act with urgency and courage. This is where the European Green Deal comes in, inspired by the demands of citizens, especially the younger generations. Over the past 4 years, a lot of work has been put into turning the European Green Deal into reality. And I would like to thank all of you who've been involved in this enormous effort. We have put in place a big part of the legislative foundation, having delivered on 90% of President von der Leyen's political guidelines. But let me be clear. Our job is far from done. Now we must combine the continuity with bringing the European Green Deal to the next level with the ambition needed for accelerating its concrete rollout. This transformation is a multi-generational task that will require effort now and for the decades to come. We will continue to meet this high level of ambition. With climate change and biodiversity loss, there is no plan B. And I think the vast majority of Europeans understand that. We all want to breathe clean air, eat food grown in healthy soil, power our lives with clean energy, and use durable and sustainable products. Looking ahead, I want to focus on 3 main tasks in the remaining months of this mandate as I coordinate the efforts of commissioners working on the Green Deal issues. First, I want to focus on the support of the citizens for the European Green Deal. This, as you all know better than me, is absolutely crucial. It is our role to ensure citizens see that the benefits vastly outweigh the costs. Therefore, it is imperative that we implement a fair and socially just transition that leaves no one and nowhere behind. That means that the solutions we put in place must be accessible and affordable, They must work for all, including the most vulnerable. The Social Climate Fund, for example, will financially support the most affected citizens and businesses in dealing with the costs of the transition. This is an instrument designed to support vulnerable people and micro-enterprises already from 2026, ahead of the introduction of the new emission trading system for buildings, road transport, and additional sectors which will eventually provide funding. But to be sure that the Green Deal is accessible to citizens, we must step up engagement with them. That means listening, explaining, working together, and providing support where needed to come up with the best possible solutions. And I know that it works. The proof that this approach delivers can be found in the Just Transition Fund, whose origin can be traced back to the initiative for coal regions in transition, which was a direct result of such an open dialogue, which one I had with the people and local authorities in Katowice already in 2017. So it is clear priority for me to organize green social dialogues, to fully engage with our citizens directly. This will help us to cultivate and strengthen public support for the Green Deal, and I would be kindly asking you for the support and assistance in that effort. In addition, we should bolster our engagement with industry. We want our message to be clear. The Green Deal is an advantage to industry. It will help them to grow and prosper here in Europe. It should ensure predictability and transparency in planning for the future, a clear direction of travel. So we will organize a series of clean transition dialogues with the first dedicated to hydrogen in a few days. It is also important to strengthen dialogue with stakeholders from agriculture and forestry, who are essential partners in green transition. There can be no food security without our farmers. So I want to engage with them and parties across the food chain so that we produce better with less environmental impact in harmony with nature while ensuring decent income for farmers. The second task is to bring all pending Green Deal proposals to the finishing line. Honourable members, I will seek to drive this process forward, and you will have also my full support in your work together with the Council to get open files across the line. As nature is our best ally in fighting climate change and crucial for our food security, the nature restoration law is of paramount importance. I understand there are strong opinions around this file, but I believe we can, with a positive engagement and firm political will, find a positive outcome by the end of the year, ideally before COP28. We cannot have food security without addressing climate change, biodiversity, and sustainability of our soil. Regarding the circular economy pillar, eco-design is vital. The existing eco-design requirements is estimated to have saved Europeans more than 120 billion of the energy bills already in 2021, and I'm just talking about 1 year alone. So I hope we can conclude the negotiations on eco-design for sustainable products regulation to put the European economy on the firm path towards circularity, saving energy and reducing costs for citizens. Likewise, we should seek to finalize the rules on packaging, end-of-life vehicles, waste shipments, and textile and food waste in short order. And the Critical Raw Materials Act will be crucial, and not only for circular economy, by promoting recycling of these key materials, but also for reducing our dependencies and boosting our open strategic autonomy. The outstanding climate action files include reducing the climate footprint of our transport sector, notably of heavy-duty vehicles, and I stand ready to help find an agreement. We also need to finalize negotiations on the trans-European transport networks and the greening freight package. Work also still remains in our efforts to ensure a secure and affordable supply of energy for the European Union. That means finalizing the new set of rules to govern our future-proof and more resilient energy system and make it fit for the decarbonized economy while at the same time ensuring households and businesses have access to affordable and cleaner energy. Now we must finish work on electricity market design, the decarbonized gas markets and hydrogen package, the regulation on methane emissions in energy sector, and the Buildings Performance Directive. In addition, there are further measures still to be put forward under this Commission's mandate. I will oversee work on the 2040 climate target, an important sign also to the international community of the EU's commitment to the Paris Agreement. This autumn, we will focus on wind power and grids, and I will work closely with the Member States on the updated national energy and climate plans for 2021-2030. I also intend to steer an initiative on relieving water stress that increasingly affects different parts of the economy and our societies. Additionally, I am fully aware of the importance of the files the Commission has yet to put forward, notably on targeted revision of REACH, animal welfare, microplastics, forest monitoring, and the food sustainability framework. Together with my team of Green Deal commissioners, we will seek to further work on these files. The third priority for me will be proper implementation and rollout of the files which have been agreed. This means helping our member states, our citizens and our industry to take the actions necessary to achieve the green transition. And it means making the most of the opportunities our green transition provides to preserve our future prosperity. That is why the European Green Deal is our growth agenda, proving to the world that modernization and decarbonization can go hand in hand. With it, we are fighting for our industry to remain a global leader when it comes to green tech, clean tech, bioeconomy, and net zero technologies. Frankly, the race is on to be at the center of green production, rules, and financing, which is why we need to have a Green Deal with European capacity in key sectors like critical raw materials, batteries, and wind turbines. Ensuring the agreed policy and regulatory frameworks are being used effectively and efficiently is of a paramount importance, not only to keeping Europe on its path to sustainability, but also to preserving the competitiveness of its industry and ensuring growth, green skills, and I would underscore high-value jobs. We must also accelerate the rollout of relevant infrastructure and installations, including by simplifying permitting procedures. And we must help green technologies to scale up so they become more affordable for consumers. Sectors like renewable energy, clean fuels, and electric vehicles have proven that this sort of investment can have an important and beneficial effect. At the same time, we must make the most of the EU's investment firepower, whether it's Recovery and Resilience Facility with Repower EU, the EU Innovation Fund, the Modernization Fund, or the Horizon Europe program. The public financing is crucial in leveraging the necessary private funding. There is more we can do, however. For example, we can bring together Europe's financial institutions to come up with effective financial tools to make clean alternatives more accessible. But we know that Europe cannot ensure a habitable planet alone. Climate change, biodiversity loss, and pollution are global problems. I will work to maintain Europe's leading role on the world stage, bringing together all key partners. COP28 will be an opportunity to send the message that we must all live up to our promises. I was happy to see that the Commission's proposal to triple renewables and double energy efficiency was taken on board by the COP28 presidency. And the implementation of the Kunming-Montreal Biodiversity Framework will remain of the utmost priority. Ultimately, we must show the world that the European Union will remain a reliable global green champion, willing to work in close cooperation and provide support to ensure fair and sustainable growth and prosperity. Honourable chairs, honourable members, when we first set ourselves on the path to climate neutrality in the previous mandate, and then when we started to work on the European Green Deal in 2019, we knew it would not happen overnight. But Europe's green transformation has firmly taken root, and it's time we allowed it to fully blossom. I want to use the reminder of this Commission's mandate in this regard to the last day and make sure that our successors have a firm basis to continue delivering on this transformational challenge of our epoch and of our civilization for a common future. I'm sure that Europe will do more than its fair share in these efforts. I once again ask you to put your confidence in me to take on this important task. I will, of course, continue, as always, my closest cooperation with the European Parliament. And as I have heard some of you say, we must not only ensure that no one gets left behind in the green transition, we must bring everyone forward with us. Thank you very much.